Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are, whatever time it is. Welcome to the Secrets of a Ghostwriter. Today, let's address the enormous elephant in the room, writer's block. Does it actually exist? We could argue all day about that. Let's talk around it. I think there are two issues with writer's block. There are two stages that you might contemplate that you are suffering from writer's block. The second is easier to deal with, which is I'm in the middle of something and I've hit a wall. I just can't pick it up again. The first is I've written nothing and I simply can't start. And that is harder because, of course, you've got no momentum. You've got no previous to pick up on. The best advice I can give to anybody that is in the first category but thinks they have writer's block is simply to start. Now, many of us that write, it's just like being a student back in the day and writing essays, will procrastinate before the moment that we begin. And that could mean staring out of the window. I'll just call somebody back, somebody that you have not wanted to call back when they rang, but now it just finds itself further up in the queue because you are procrastinating. And you simply have to start. You can't give yourself any better shot at this than starting. And that means you open the laptop, and we're all different. But I find that if my fingers start like a puppeteer and I'm writing chapter 1 and perhaps my name, and I'm creating a file on the document, then I've given myself a shot that the process begins. Now that's something you've got to work out. And it's extraordinary how on days if I've had self-doubt and I might be opening a manuscript for the first time, I have procrastinated, but when I've begun, I feel like I'm flying. So you've just got to get yourself through that door, whatever it is that propels you to open that manuscript. Okay, now the second one, I think I have a unique perspective on writer's block. And I do believe that much of this comes down to the state that you leave the manuscript in the day or the night before. I'll say night quite often because I tend to do most of the writing in the evening. Many people, when they're coming to the end of a writing session, I think feel that they've got to get to the end of a chapter, a significant plot twist or character development in the writing. You know, I'll be down in a minute. I've just literally got to wrap up this chapter. I don't see it like that. I see it as if you are on a high, you're in the middle of something really intense, have the confidence and the courage to bail out at that point. Why? Because these are some of your best thoughts, and they won't desert you the next day when you come back to write. They will take you, in fact, straight into that place, and it gives you the best chance at getting writing straight away. Now, if I take, for example, the book that has brought me the most notoriety and attention, it's called Tango 190, about PC David Rathband, the British police officer who was shot by a gunman. Now, I don't have the book in front of me to quote from, but I can paraphrase. It's only about an arm or two away from me on the bookshelf. But as I was writing that book, if I had written something like the gunman approached the car and fired the shots, I would have hopefully written it better than that, but I might have left it there as a chapter end. If I just wrote the gunman approached the car and, knowing the full story and the sequence of events and all my detailed notes in front of me, it's so easy to pick that up the next day. And sometimes if I'm writing and I leave in the middle of a sentence, that could be dialogue as well, because conversations are quite easy sometimes to recap on. So my point is this: the temptation is to tidy everything off beautifully at the end of a writing session, and you feel quite smug and quite self-satisfied about it. But in my experience, if you leave it unfinished, you're going to hit the ground running the very next time that you begin that writing process. So I hope there's a couple of ideas there on dealing with writer's block. And I'll see you next time when the Secrets of a Ghostwriter continues.